Chapter 5. The Battle of the Clouds. The Wall of Iron. The victory of the Gamer Swarm over the first scout ships had given Earth a surge of hope, but the Aurelians reacted to the loss of their scouts with cold, calculated escalation. They sent the sub-destroyers, brutal, needle-shaped ships designed for atmospheric entry. General Marcus Gideon was the commander of the Iron Dome defense. He was a man of the old guard, a decorated strategist who believed in the Wall of Iron. To him, a billion children in their bedrooms with 3D printed plastic was not a military strategy. It was a desperate gamble. "I will not leave the defense of Washington, London, and Beijing to a frame-rate exploit," Gideon barked at the Gemini X mainframe terminal. "The Aurelians are descending. If they hit the atmosphere, their magnetic wake will level our cities before a single drone can even reach them. We meet them in the stratosphere with the heavy wings." The traditional charge. Gideon didn't lack bravery. He led from the front. He ordered the Global Air Command, what was left of the world's fighter jets, to form a steel ring at 60,000 feet. These pilots were the best of the best, flying modified F-35s and Su-57s equipped with experimental shield-breaker missiles. As the Aurelian destroyers descended, glowing red from atmospheric friction, Gideon gave the order. "All wings, engage." For Earth, it was a beautiful, terrifying sight. Thousands of human pilots flew in perfect, disciplined formations. They used tactical maneuvers honed over a century of aerial warfare. They showed the shine of human military discipline, courage in the face of certain death. The failure, the Aurelians didn't dodge. They didn't need to. They projected a global magnetic polarity shift. In an instant, the very air around the human jets became the enemy. The magnetic field didn't just stop the missiles, it turned the jets' own engines into magnets. Wings were ripped off by invisible forces. The jets didn't just crash, they were crumpled like soda cans by the sheer weight of the distorted magnetic field. "General, pull them back," the Gemini X mainframe pleaded. "The Wall of Iron is a conductor. You are giving them the medium they need to destroy you." Gideon watched his steel ring shatter. He saw his best friends vaporize in the sky. He had tried to fight an honorable war against an enemy that viewed physics as a playground. The heavy price. The Aurelian destroyers pushed through the wreckage of the Air Command. They reached the cloud layer, the last line of defense before the cities. This is where the military's strength appeared, even in potential defeat. Realizing his tactical error, Gideon didn't retreat. He ordered the remaining heavy bombers, which were too slow to dogfight, to act as kinetic shields. "If we can't shoot them down, we will give them too much mass to move," Gideon commanded. In a heroic, heartbreaking display of sacrifice, the heavy bomber crews flew their massive planes directly into the path of the Aurelian destroyers. They weren't trying to win. They were trying to slow them down so the civilian gamer swarm below could find a gap. One by one, the massive bombers struck the alien shields. The impact didn't destroy the alien ships, but it stalled their descent. It bought the world 10 minutes. 10 minutes of life, bought with the lives of 10,000 of Earth's finest soldiers. The macro hush. The Battle of the Clouds ended in a tactical retreat. The Aurelians were pushed back into the upper atmosphere, but the Iron Dome was gone. The world watched the hush, the silent descent of flaming wreckage across the Atlantic and Pacific. General Gideon stood in the command center, his uniform scorched, his eyes hollow. He had lost the old military. He had tried to be the shield, and the shield had shattered. "Gemini X," Gideon said, his voice a broken whisper. "The gamers. Leo, are they ready?" "They are waiting for your signal, General." "Then give it. I'll provide the coordinates for the remaining ground-based railguns. We'll provide the heavy cover fire, but the swarm has to be the blade." The macro impact. This was the humbling. The military realized they couldn't win alone, and the civilians realized they couldn't survive without the military's heavy sacrifices. The chain of victory was being forged in the fires of a shared defeat. Humanity was no longer a military and a civilian population. They were now a single, wounded, and very angry organism.